Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Precious Metal Summit Europe. And with me here is also early in the morning, Summa Silver and Galen McNamara. The CEO wants to give us an insight for the first time at Commodity TV. Galen, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Johan. I'm very well. How are you?
Perfect. All fine here. Thanks. So let's go directly into the interview. Summa Silver, a little bit, I would call it a fairly new company, but you guys have some sensational projects. Maybe you can give us a short overview on that, please.
Sure. So Summa Silver is a brand new silver and gold focused exploration and development company. The first project is a silver district focused project in the state of Nevada, halfway between Reno and Las Vegas. One of these old Wild West mining towns that hasn't really seen any modern exploration, which is very interesting. Now, we all know Nevada as this famous this famous gold producing state. If it were a country, it would be the fourth largest gold producer in the world. But what a lot of people don't know is that Nevada was originally known as the Silver State. And that's because of two famous Wild West past producing mining areas, one of which we are in called the Tonopah district. So we have the eastern half of the Tonopah district and are now diligently drilling that with 3 rigs turning today.
Wow, 3 rigs already. That's fantastic. Yeah. And I think you brought out also a first very interesting result, right?
That's right. So we're in the middle of a 12,500 meter drill program right now. That'll get us somewhere between 25 and 30 holes. Now, about a month ago, we released the first 3 holes. And as luck would have it, each one of them hit very high grades, greater than 2,000 grams per ton silver equivalent. The best one being, and I'm just going to scroll to it here on my other screen because I don't want to mix it up. The best one being 3,760 grams per ton silver equivalent over 2.5 meters. And that's within 596 grams per ton silver equivalent over 18.5 meters in one hole. Now, all 3 of these holes are on different veins targeting different areas. All 3 of them require follow-up, and that's what we're doing right now. So we'll step out very systematically around these holes and, see if we can prove up any ounces right around them.
That would be fantastic, of course. At what depths has that happened, those 2 results?
Yeah, so the target areas here are anywhere between 200 and 500 meters down the hole. We're in a situation where we've got veins stacked on top of one another, one after the other. So we hit veins anywhere between 200 meters and the end of the hole, which is 500 meters down.
Okay, super. But you have also an old mine on your property, right? That's called the Belmont Mine. And I could imagine that maybe makes things a little bit easier to put a drill rig in the right location.
That's right. So we're drilling one of the main targets in the Tonopah district. Is right around this old mine called the Belmont Mine. Now, the Belmont Mine produced about 40 million ounces of silver and 400,000 ounces of gold at grades of about 12,500 grams per ton silver equivalent. And as far as we know, was never drilled before we showed up. So we had all of the old mining plans, so we knew exactly where the veins were, and we knew exactly where the mining stopped. So one focus of the original drill program is just to follow up on what we think are unmined extensions of these veins. And the results that we put out in the first 3 holes, that was testing those targets.
Okay, super. So as you said, you're doing 12,500 meters and you had only 3 holes so far reported. So was it due to COVID that you have longer turnaround times because the labs are also, let's say, in a very slow mode, right?
Yeah, the labs are in extremely slow mode. Right now, the turnaround times are anywhere between 8 and 10 weeks if you take your samples to a lab in Nevada. Some of that is probably COVID and staffing on their end and following all the proper protocols on their end. But the other thing is that everyone right now in Nevada and a lot of the western U.S. is drilling very hard. It's extremely difficult to find a drill rig right now because everyone's drilling, and that goes from the majors to the juniors.
Okay, super. But you have 3 rigs working, right? You said
that's correct. 3 rigs, super. 2 core rigs, and 1 RC rig.
Great, super. So wouldn't I be too wrong if I say until Christmas we get more results?
Oh, absolutely. We're starting to see results rolling regularly now. And I'd say we're going to have results out in the next, 2 to 3 to 4 weeks for sure.
Okay, super. So what's the overall game plan with the Belmont Mine, let's call it, and with the Tonopah district here you have? Is it like that you say, okay, let's prove out a nice resource and then bring the thing in production, or you want to restart production with the old Belmont Mine? What is the focus?
The first focus here, before I get too far ahead of myself, is rediscovery, I like to say. You know, we've got a major opportunity to go back into a district that's never seen any modern exploration and see what could be left, hopefully breathe some new life into it. So when I was first putting this project together, you know, back about, a year ago now, a little less than a year ago, and I was really getting into the due diligence and thinking about how to structure things and whether we should do it or not. I thought to myself, okay, well, if we do this, what's a good example of a win? You know, what could we be going after here? And I kept coming back to a company like Silvercrest. Go into a historic district in Mexico that's seen something like 100 million ounces of past production with no modern exploration. Apply a modern focus, and of course, everything goes right, and they do a great job of executing on every level. But you fast forward 5 years to today, and they're sitting at a 1.5, give or take, $1.5 billion market cap. So I just thought to myself, well, those are the types of risks I want to take. So right now, we're really focused on rediscovery, and then once we do that, we can focus on the next stages.
Okay, super. Then let's move to New Mexico with the Mogollon Project. This is also like the old consolidated mine. I think there was an open pit, right? So
there was multiple underground mines in this district. So sorry to cut you off. The story with the Mogollon property is that, ever since we started Summa in May, we were very hard looking for a second project. Something that could really double our chances at having a big success, making that big discovery, whether it be 50, 100, or 200 million ounces. I don't think it's off base to say, that's what any silver junior is looking for. And I really liked the southwestern U.S., and I really liked these old high-grade districts that hadn't really seen the light of day, that hadn't really been given that fair shake from an exploration standpoint. So we auctioned Mogollon out of a junior called Allegiant Gold, and they're focused on open pit gold deposits in Nevada. So a high grade mining district in New Mexico probably doesn't really fit their corporate strategy, but of course it fits mine very well. It fits Summa's very well.
Okay.
So this project shut down in 1942. The mining there shut down in 1942 because that's when the U.S. entered World War II, and that's when all silver and gold mining in the U.S. stopped by law. There was a little bit of drilling here done in the 70s, and that was done by a geologist who put the project all together and actually funded the drilling himself. He paid for it himself. He liked it that much. Those guys ran into some really strong grades. So the highlight hole from this one was 14 meters at 600 grams per ton silver equivalent in one hole. But the ultra high grades were also there, and that another hole hit 2.3 meters of almost 2,000 grams per ton silver equivalent. So really, okay, those are good numbers, but at the end of the day, there's two things I like to concentrate on for this project. The first one is that, where it's drilled, right around some of the old mines, immediately around the old stopes and the old mining areas, they got some really good grades, so we know there's significant mineralization left. Where it's not drilled, it's just not drilled. So we've got that blue sky there as well, which is a nice balance. It's just a very good balance. So right now we're 80 to 90% focused on Tonopah because we're drilling there and it looks great. But we're working on Mogollon, pretty hard in the background, getting it ready to drill. Doing all of the data compilation and all of the geology in the background, all that stuff that goes on under the hood to get it ready for drilling. And then, of course, getting it permitted as well. So we expect to be drilling here sometime in mid-2021.
Super, perfect. So finally, let's touch on money. What's cash in the bank? Because drilling costs a lot. You've raised a lot of money, I know, and you were totally oversubscribed. And I think you have also some very prominent shareholders.
Yeah, we do. So just to start with the financings, we've done 2 financings since May, since getting the company started. $13 million in total. The first one was $5 million at 25 cents. The second one was $8 million at $1 with a half warrant for $1.75. And I feel very privileged to be able to say that Eric Sprott took part in both of those financings. He took $1 million in the first one at 25 cents and then $5 million in the second one at $1. So he owns about 18% of our company.
Fantastic. So that's enough money, of course, for this year, for next year. You are in good shape.
We're in very good shape. There's about $8 million in the bank right now. And we're going to be very aggressive with the drill bit, because if there's any properties that really justify significant and strong testing, it's these two.
Super, Galen, thank you very much. So we expect a lot of good news flow then. And I have a feeling that we talk before Christmas again.
That sounds good, Johan. Thanks so much.
Super. Thank you very much. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, there was Galen McNamara, the CEO of Summa Silver, and you heard it, prominent shareholder base, lots of money in the bank, and the drills are turning. 12,500 meters. They want to finalize here within the next months, and we look forward to some hopefully good results. I'm pretty sure well before Christmas, and I would suggest that you really check out the company, because those are the chances which do not happen too often, to be honest. I'm a shareholder of the company too, and to be on such a first stage, this is really outstanding, in top jurisdictions with a top team and Eric Sprott on board. What else do you want? So check it out. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.